Okay, welcome back. Now let's go over the definition, the intuitive definition of a limit. Later on we're going to get into the precise definition of a limit, but let's start with just the intuitive definition. So what does it say? I'm going to read it, I'm going to explain it. Okay, so what it says here in definition 4 is it says let f of x be a function defined at all values in an open interval containing a. So this is what we call a neighborhood of a, with the possible exception of a itself, which means it's going to be defined at all values in the open interval that contains a, except possibly at a. Okay? Now, it also says, and let L be a real number. Okay, now, if all values of the function f of x approach the real number L as the values of x approach a, of course not equal to a, but approach a, which means it gets relatively closer and closer to a, then we say that the limit of f of x as x approaches a is L. And symbolically, we write it this way. The limit as x approaches a of f of x equals L. Now, more succinctly, what we're saying here is this. As x gets closer and closer to a, the value of the function gets closer and closer and stays close to some real number L. Okay? And so what we mean, and you'll see this later on, is something like this. Is let's say we have a function like this, right? And so here's a, right? So what we're saying is if we take, wrong. Let's say this is L, and let's say we take A, and we take some open interval around A. So here's another graphical way of describing it. And again, we'll do a more precise definition later. But what we're saying is, hey, if we're within an open interval of A, okay, so what this is basically saying is, hey, as I approach A from either side, in here or in here, as I approach A, right, as x gets closer and closer to A, what's saying here is the value of the function is going to be within a certain range of the real value. In fact, it's getting closer and closer and stays close to whatever this real value is, L. And so if it does, then that meets the definition, the intuitive definition or informal definition of a limit. That's it. Have a great day.